big news yesterday. Eagles center Jason Kelce, a 7-time Pro Bowler. He spent his entire 13-year career with the Eagles, including the team's 2018 Super Bowl win. Well, as we all know, Jason Kelce likes to wear his heart on his sleeve, and he was very emotional as he said goodbye to the game he loves.
I won't forget Nick Foles having the game of his life on the biggest stage possible. And the biggest guy on the team going up to Doug Peterson and asking for the Philly special. And Doug Peterson having the biggest balls in the stadium to say, yeah, let's do it.
Wow. Emotional stuff.
No, he's
I love
a
him,
TED
though.
Talk. Yeah, who does?
Yeah.
Did Joe G cry? That's the question.
I don't think so.
No? I think he was
He's
probably
not an
carrying
emotional guy. He's very
not?
even keel. I don't think Joe G. He's just always steady Eddie to me. Not too high, not
I
too
think
low.
I think there was crocodile tears. I think there was like one tear, like bang bang, wiped them, done, kept it moving.
I think he
The
was
glasses
daydreaming
fogged
about
up
the
a little bit.
Yeah,
fogged up? I think he was daydreaming
The
about
glasses.
the Phillies at the time. That's what I think.
he was too busy trying to ship Alec Boehm out of town or something.
Dude, I don't know about you guys, but every day I'm getting a text about a different MLB future from Joe G. Like, he's all over everything.
I'm not getting anything. What the hell?
Yeah, me neither. What the hell?
No? Well, I started it because I was asking him about why Nola always gets so much value and no respect in the betting market. And so then, he's all over a bunch of numbers.
Oh, you opened
How
the
the
name
floodgates.
story changes. Joe G won't
I've nev-
stop texting me. Turns into actually, I reached out to him. Like,
No,
Well,
but since
also-
then, he's brought up a bunch of different names.
Joe opened the floodgates, though. Joe made
Yeah,
that first contact, and now it's just
right?
Oh, that's
Torrential
it. Jeez,
downpour.
Aaron,
Oh, someone wants to talk about this. All right, let me tell you.
he's
all
been
my
ready.
thoughts.
Like, he can't talk about Cole Raggins on his show because he's got to do Philly stuff.
Oh,
Aaron, he did
please.
bring him up, by the way. 'Cause
Oh.
Aaron asked about him.
Yeah.
No?
So
No good?
no good. But really quick, Joe G is
Yeah.
the biggest Phillies critic, and to hear him all in on the Phillies, I don't know if that
I
makes
know.
me want to tail or fade them, because this is very unlike Joe G.
I know.
It's like
but he was out on
It's
them
like
when
the
they
weather
were
in
winning.
Florida. Yeah, it's like the weather in Florida. If you don't like what he's saying, give it 10 minutes. Give it 10 days. Give it half a month.
It'll
Flip-flopper?
grow on you.
He said he's gonna flip flop
Yeah.
it in 5 minutes anyway, so it doesn't matter. It would make me fade the Phillies, honestly, because I fought him defending the Phillies for months, and he refused to budge on them.
I know.
And then- yeah.
I see clips of him on his show saying, yeah, they're talking about a World Series. This team is really good. And I'm just like, wait, is this a Joe G I know? Who is this
That
guy?
makes-
I haven't
That makes me
texted
want to
him.
fade him.
He's a quintessential Phillies fan. Like drawn up and like to perfection.
Oh,
That's all
they
of them,
start the
so, which
they
is
start
perfect
the
for him.
year at home against the Braves. Just wait for them to go 1-2 in that
0-3?
series. He's gonna have a
0-3.
meltdown.
1 and 2?
1
and 2?
Ooh, that'd be
Let's go-
nice.
Yeah.
We got to remember, let's get him on, because that would be fun.
Yes. Okay,
Phillies
so
off
Live
to
from the
a rocky
ballpark
start.
after the sweep. Yeah.
Jason Kelce, prediction. Where's he going? ESPN, CBS,
I think we already know.
Fox,
He did a dry
Amazon?
run during the season right here in Chicago. Yeah, Amazon.
Amazon for sure. And they had the documentary there, like the connections and all that.
Right.
So what's the
Like
role?
that I would say booth desk, the pregame show.
I hate
Maybe there's
that
a
guy.
special like correspondent role, but like that
Ugh.
is such a layup of a gig. I mean, it's like there's some guys with some good personality. Like it's a good entry level. Whitworth, perfect example. I mean, Tony Gonzalez has been around for a while, but hey,
Yeah.
you want to get your feet wet in the broadcasting world? Fitzpatrick, Whitworth. That seems to make a lot of sense. Also, a lot of guys with beards.
Yeah.
So
Fitzpatrick
but, like,
and
he could
Jason
do the-
Kelsey. Got to put them on opposite ends.
and
Lot.
like he did the Wiener Circle thing here. Like he could
Yep.
be that guy for that show, like kind of
Okay.
the correspondent where he goes to like the Wiener Circle.
We know one
or-
network he's not going to, and that's CBS. Couldn't see that.
Boring. Yeah, old
a little
and
too.
boring.
They're a little too
Stuffy. Yeah.
Yeah.
The logo on the jacket. I just don't want to see him because I could see it where a network throws so much money at him to go in a booth and then he's exposed over 3 hours every week. Like that wouldn't make sense.
No. And I don't even know if he eventually gets there. That'd be a real tough place to start. But I just don't see him as a booth fit necessarily.
Yeah.
Unless
Where
you want to
can
go
show
I don't
your
know.
personality? Yeah.
Right. Those longer form 7-hour kickoff shows.
He might be like, we need to pump out more episodes of our podcast. Like, isn't he big enough where they could do their own thing?
Kelsey
Like that?
Cast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, with the
man.
way YouTube pays and other, platforms, why not?
People are-
continue
Yeah,
that.
people are saying, "Oh, what about this network? What about that network?" I don't know. I would think that they're having conversations of like, let's do what we want to do, not what some network tells us we have to do, and we could swear like we do on our
Oh.
show, and we can do whatever we want. Yeah, like Kelsey
start
Cast would
their
be
own
That's
network.
why. Or, I mean, you produce your own content and it ends up on Amazon. Like that. So
Sure.
that, again, is a natural connection to Amazon. It's like, hey, we're producing this. Wrap it up. Here you go. Play this. Put on your
the video
platform.
to their podcast could be on Amazon. Like,
Yeah.
That's
That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
Multiple pieces of content.
And then when they have
And with
T
the
Swift on-
Amazon, like buying the playoff game and again, like
Yeah.
a second screen experience, Manning Cast-esque on Amazon. I mean, that seems natural.
Yep. Yeah, I could see that. CBS Nickelodeon broadcast. Get out of here. SpongeBob?
It crossed my mind.
Jason? Yes. No, but
Jason gets
He-
slimed.
there's no doubt he's going to be a superstar, whatever route he ends up going. But he's got to ride the wave. Don't take a year off, Jason. You got to ride this wave.
Mm-mm.
Sorry.
And then he probably has so many female followers too.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, just a wide range because everyone knows about him now. The Taylor Swift stuff, what is it, sexiest man alive? Like this guy he's got to capitalize on.
I know
everything
so
right
many
now.
females that barely pay attention to sports. They know a little bit, but they are now subscribed to that podcast. That's what's happened. It's crazy.
I have
And
not
also you-
listened to a single episode. I'll
Neither
be
have
honest.
I. And
Neither
they
have
come to
I.
me with it, and they assume that I've heard it. I said I've only seen the clips that are posted in social media, and that's it. Like, you should really listen. These guys are funny. I'm like, okay, I
But
get
it's
enough of
also
them. Okay,
interesting to have all these moms that are so fascinated with the Kelsey brothers, and it's also like
Mhm.
moms who are like, oh, should I allow my son to play football? It's so dangerous. But if they love these guys, like maybe they are more likely to have their kids play football, and just the wide range of people. It's maybe we're not their demographic. Maybe it's, well, I guess I am a mom,
Not
but
us.
you know what I mean.
We're
like,
too
yeah,
old.
exactly. Yeah. We've been a big fade Russell Wilson show, even going back to a Seahawks days. And it turns out after a couple of seasons, the Broncos let Russ know that, you know what? We're going to go in a separate direction. This isn't going to work for us anymore. And they're even willing to take a huge cap hit over it. Joe, this goes down as one of the worst deals. We've talked about it many times. Like, there was no way he was turning things around. And the signs were there when he was with the Seahawks. Clearly, Sean Payton not a fan of Rusty Russ as well.
yeah, but I'd say that there were a lot of quarterbacks this year that are worse than Russell Wilson. So there's going to be a team that's not going to have to pay him much, and maybe you can do something with it. As a guy that is not expected to be a top 10 guy, not expected to turn the organization around, just manage an offense. Just be like 20th best. I mean, that's the bar. That's how far it's fallen now. One of the worst trades of all time. Yep. First thing that comes to mind, obviously, because of where I'm at and the team that I follow, because of what happened, I think moving up for Trubisky is in that conversation because you passed up Mahomes and you passed up Watson. Like at the time, you didn't know what was going to happen with Watson, that he's a complete creep and all that stuff. Anytime you have a dynasty, like that's got to enter the conversation. It's not only the money. 2 1s, 2 2s, 3 different players that the Broncos gave up, and then they give him a $242 million contract. The dead money, like they wanted him gone so bad. $85 million just not to be here. How do you get that job? We hate you so much. Get out of here, please. We're begging you. But like,
it's the American dream right there.
Right? I mean, seriously. I don't think that's happening for me here, no matter what I do. I mean,
the results were an absolute disaster, though. I mean, there's no other way to look at it. One of his worst seasons ever under Hackett, and then just mediocre last year. I guess you could make some cases that obviously he was a bit better, but definitely not what the Broncos had expected. And it just never seemed like a fit for whatever reason.
Well, one of the second part of it, you mentioned Hackett. I mean, that was one of the worst head coaches of all time. And then you bring in Sean Payton. He wanted nothing to do with the guy. That was clear. He was trying to put him in his place last summer. Like, okay, this is going to be a one and done thing. You'd imagine the conversations behind the scenes were, look, I know it's not ideal. You don't like Russ. It's the biggest mistake of all time. But can you just deal with it for 1 year? Because and we promise we'll probably get rid of the guy unless things turn around, which we don't see happening. No, you don't see happening. Can you just deal with it for 1 year? You see that a lot with new coaches. All right, can you deal with this for 1 year? Can you have these coaches for 1 year, whatever, and then they move on? This is, Aaron, this is the trade that we heard about like forever as the worst of all time because it did truly build a dynasty. This is Herschel Walker territory. Like that's what this is because it built the Cowboys dynasty using those picks to maneuver and get Emmitt Smith, Russell Maryland, Darren Woodson, which was a massive part of their Super Bowl run. Like, isn't this, it's different, but it's just as bad, right? Trading a running back for all that.
Yeah. It really is. It definitely is not a good look for the Broncos. I mean, where do you think the Broncos go from here? How much time do you think it's going to take for them to turn it around? Because now it's like hitting the reset button at the quarterback position.
They had an odd year, really odd year, and not just because of the quarterback, because early on it looked like the defense was going to be one of the worst of all time. Like that's where the numbers were trending. And then they really turned it around, though. They did. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what they are. I think they want to run the ball more, and it's just weird how the roster was constructed, and it's not what it appears that Sean Payton wanted to do. So I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, they're still, they lost picks to get Sean Payton there. So I don't.
Gosh, I forgot about that too.
Yeah.
They need to fire the whole front office. This is insane what they're doing over there. If I'm a fan of the Broncos, I'm just frustrated. I mean, this is like clown territory, really, what they're doing, going all in for a quarterback, a coach. I mean, I just don't think this is the way things should be done in the NFL. I mean, you see teams going and doing things cheaper and maybe not having as many star players, and they see, like, even you look at the Niners and Brock Purdy, or you look at the Chiefs and like, oh, they don't have all these offensive weapons, but like they still find ways to get it done. Yet there's teams like the Broncos who are going all in for these big flashy names and falling flat.
And now Jim Harbaugh's in our division. Good luck. Good luck. You're chasing the Chiefs and the Chargers for a while. So can they be relevant? I don't know. As far as Russell Wilson, we were messing with Chris Mack, but also not. Like, we want it to happen, but it's not far-fetched. The odds are saying that is the most likely destination, -200 for Russell Wilson to go to Pittsburgh. The second favorite is Vegas at plus 275, staying in that division, playing the Broncos twice. That would be hilarious. Then here come the Falcons. So backup plan. If they don't get Justin Fields, I would guess at plus 475. Some of these other teams I just don't see. New England, Minnesota, Tampa Bay. It doesn't make a lot. It doesn't make a lot of sense. It's just like the Fields domino has to fall, and then it feels like all this will fall in line.
Well, who would you rather have? Russell Wilson at this stage of his career or Justin Fields? Seems
So I get
kinda
Fields for
even to
2
me.
years.
Yeah.
I guess you get him for 2 years. I'd rather have Fields.
How about Russ for the veterans minimum or close to it, or Fields for, you're gonna have to, do you either opt into the 5th-year option at a big number or have to worry about an extension?
Who am I? Am I Atlanta?
Yeah.
Sure, like let's
Oh,
make it some like Atlanta, Pittsburgh, any of these teams.
Atlanta Fields easy. I don't even think it's much debate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
got the track and
Yes. Pittsburgh. Man. I think
Here's
it's
my
more of a
question, and I know we're giving Chris
conversation.
a hard
Yeah.
time. How does Peyton and Russ be that kind of a disaster, and Tomlin and Russ works? Like they're kind of the same no nonsense guy. Like they're not like different, very different, but like from that perspective,
One offense, one more defense.
is Tomlin gonna put up? Yeah, is Tomlin gonna put up with that?
No.
That's why I'm here for it.
No.
Give
But
me
Right.
drama.
I want to see it. But how
Sometimes-
is Tomlin signing off on that? I have a real tough time seeing that.
Yeah, probably, but he's been dealing with Kenny Pitt. Look at the quarterbacks that he's been dealing with. Like you have no chance. No chance.
Also,
Um,
you've got to think Russ has learned a little bit over the past couple seasons. Like, come on, guy, you got to tone it down a little bit. Like, this has to be
Now push
humbling,
back up.
but I don't know him. Maybe not.
You ain't in anymore.
I mean, didn't we? Right. I mean, Carson Wentz. We saw like this. This is the visions I'm having of Russell Wilson. Like the left-handed passes, and like it keeps getting worse and worse. When you say, "Oh, he's a veteran, he'll figure it out." Like I just don't know what you're getting out of Russ at all.
Some people lack
You'd-
self-awareness.
Yeah, they
Perhaps
do.
Russ is one of
Oh,
them.
no mirrors in their house.
Have you seen
It happens
Russ?
It happens all the time. No mirrors. Everybody else's fault. No, I mean, look, would you rather have a combination of Pickett, Trubisky, and he's gone, Rudolph? Like that's the guy. That's the same guy they keep bringing in.
Oh,
It's all the same. Like, what you're not doing anything. Okay, maybe we sneak into the playoffs, and then you're going home. Like, does that do something for the fan base? Doesn't seem like it. Seems like people are getting annoyed. They're really sick of it. Like, this is not the standard. So, I'm not saying Russell Wilson's going to win anything. I'm just saying that it's not going to be worse. I don't think it's going to be worse.